Greg Zuerlein now. He'll handle the honors to get us started. And we are underway from Pittsburgh. And a good return, but he pays the price at the end of it as he's picked up and thrown down. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
How about the defense there trying to set the tone on the very first play of the game?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a glow here tonight because they brought the heat right out of the gate. What a good job establishing a tone for this one.
So much for coming out throwing as it leads to an early second down and long. Now run straight ahead with Warren. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That second down play nets a -4.
Apparently this defense has come to play. A sack and a run stuff behind the line on the first two plays.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And, boys, he got the full package. Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prospect said to him, "What's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast."
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Here's Hall again. Stays on his feet. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down. To throw is Fields. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Running left, it's Hall. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
I'm actually looking at this play with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
Now it's Fields. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 27-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game that will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. From the 24 now, here's a 2nd and 7. Paul on a give up the middle. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. And I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times the reverse happens. They actually get energized because they're controlling the ball, and they're the ones dictating to the defense.
He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 12-yard line. Give them 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
And this is exactly the kind of drive you're hoping for out of the gates. They're mixing the run and the pass well, keeping this defense off balance early. And they're on the march here with another first down.
Here's Fields. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it's 2nd down. Now Fields. Ruckert holding it in on the out route. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
They went to their big body tight end on 2nd down in hopes that he could plow his way to a first down. But they were ready for him defensively and ended up holding him to a modest gain.
From the gun, here's Fields. Steps away to his left. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Justin Fields, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Jets put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And not willing to risk a return, this ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. To throw, it's Rodgers. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this one is incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they have to give up the football again after this one.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. A shotgun snap, Fields. He'll get this to Lazard. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. They'll go again with Hall. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite powering through the tackle. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
2 straight 4-yard runs, and it is steadily working the ball downfield. To me, they're staying right on schedule. 1st down, you want 4 yards or more to set up the rest of the drive. They're getting exactly that.
Fields. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Back to the ground with Hall. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st?
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Give to Hall running right. Fighting his way in for a Jets touchdown. Breece Hall, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Jets are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Now Zuerlein on to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it was capped off by a Breece Hall touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. On play action, Rodgers. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. Third and 8. Throwing now is Rodgers. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away.
Set to punt. Here's Cameron Johnston. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Play action. It's Fields. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter, as they've got it with a first down coming up. Fields now to throw. Wilson's got it on the crossing route. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
A give running right is Hall. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Straight ahead is Hall. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. 47 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction. And that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them. And now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Here's Rodgers to throw. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Okay, let's decide here. He was open, right? Not extraordinarily open, but open enough that if you're an NFL quarterback, you got to make that throw, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be complete.
9 times out of 10, that's a completed pass.
Yeah, he missed that one and missed it in a big way.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big third down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
And the Steelers on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A handoff for Warren. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down. On the give, it's Warren. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down. From the 22 now, here's the 2nd down and 6. Here's Warren. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Jalen Warren, 22 yards. And the Steelers have got it back to within a score. Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. That time a 6-play drive. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Jets take it over again. Breece Hall making his way out with the offense. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Second and 5. Here's a give to Hall. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense because, to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
From the gun on third down, Fields. He'll find Reynolds over the middle. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Here's Fields. He's got the hook up to Lazard. Now 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Fields. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 34-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
That's complete to Lazard. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down. They'll run here with Hall. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll run with Hall. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down. To throw is Fields. And he's got it. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. From 8 yards out. And the Jets go up by 2 touchdowns. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, and they're a PAT from going up 21-7.
Yeah, very impressive the way that they've moved the football. Full command of their playbook, full command of the way they wanted to attack.
Zuerlein now for the PAT. It's good, and it is now 21-7. A 10-play drive that time, and it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, and they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
2nd and 6. Now Rodgers. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Oh, and that's kind of how it's gone for him so far. That was a ball they need to get back in this game. A quick strike, a big play. But he led his guy too far, and it winds up over his head.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Rodgers. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Jets will take over. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. Here's Fields. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they'll start with great field position, trying to get back into this one. It's 1st and 10 here. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Here's Freiermuth again. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right, that run after catch.
This is 2nd and 8. Rodgers going to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Fortunately for him, that ball stayed close so that he could recover it on his own.
And you know the prayers that were going through his head as the ball escaped from him? How happy was he at the end of it when he found the football again, able to retain possession?
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Rodgers now to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now out come the Jets. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. Out of the gun, Fields. Wilson's got it complete. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now Fields. That is incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Fields. That is caught. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. A handoff for Hall. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Now Austin. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. But Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
This one incomplete and over everybody. Looked like a clear throwaway. But the officials, they're going to say there's a receiver over there in the area, so no flags, and it's 3rd down. They'll run it. Warren. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We were treated to a solid first half out of the running back, Breece Hall. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I liked what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Hall again. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Now it's Fields. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. He may go. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So that potentially a turning point here this 3rd quarter. A 2-score lead down to 1 now following the pick 6.
And that had to be the message at halftime for this defense. Delivered and accepted. We need to go out there and make something happen.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. The defense left him with nowhere to go, and the try for 2 is denied. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Fields. His pass complete to Ruckert. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Jet first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They'll give to Hall. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's the 2nd and 9. From the 50, here's Fields. Over the middle, complete. That's Reynolds. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Now Hall. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 82 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
And he will find his man on the outside. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
Fields now to throw. Over the middle and complete to Wilson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. From the 5 now, 2nd and a yard. Here's Hall. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal.
It's no accident they've been moving the ball well all game long. This offensive line has done an excellent job adapting to everything the defense is throwing at them and creating holes for their runners.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They'll try to run with Hall. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall with his 2nd touchdown of the night as his guys are able to extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns, but the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was capped off by a Breece Hall touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Pat Freiermuth, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now run straight ahead with Warren. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
The Jets offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as we take a look at some of the highlights, we see just how impactful he's been. He and his quarterback have such a great chemistry together, and it's been on full display throughout the contest. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. 104 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? 5 defensive backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
double
dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing. Offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
Yeah, we saw that advantage right there. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain.
Fields hit and the ball is loose. We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to secure it.
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Allen Lazard from 8 yards out as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
Zerline now for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with a Jet touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. The tight end in motion right. On the run, it's Warren across the 30 to the 31-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Jamin Davis in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
A shotgun snap, Fields. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, that's the down and distance coach is always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And now out come the Steelers. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Throwing now is Rodgers. Washington's got it. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now a run with Warren. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. On play action, Rodgers toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows that throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. And in for the Steelers, touchdown. DK Metcalf from 4 yards out. And the Steelers are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Extra point now by Boswell. And they're able to cut the deficit to 12. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. Caught by Wilson. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. From the 31, here comes 2nd and a yard. Paul on a give up the middle. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Jet football as they've got the lead here, and we get set to begin quarter number 4. Back to throw. Fields. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Hall. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 109 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. To throw is Fields. Over the middle here to Wilson. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 37. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Straight ahead is Hall. And he coughed it up.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free. But a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble on first down now. Here's second down. Here's Fields. And check down, complete to Hall. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no
yardage. Okay.
Here's Fields. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 16. A good pickup there, a 22.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Handoff, running left. Here's Hall. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Operating from the gun, Fields. He'll find Lazard here over the middle. And the Jets are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
They'll run with Hall. Fighting his way in for a Jets touchdown. Breece Hall, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Jets have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. Well, I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it was capped off by a Breece Hall touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Second and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First catch so far by Pickens. It's good for a first down.
Time running short here in the fourth quarter. You're down 3 scores. And I think you've got a defense here saying we just need to prevent the home run. So a good, smart offensive coordinator can use that as an advantage. And that's a nice throw there to pick up the first down.
Rodgers now to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
A handoff for Warren. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. On the give, it's Warren. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That burst good for 20 and a first down. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run-pass option.
And they're right down here looking for 6. A quick target here, complete to Metcalf. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. On play action, it's Rodgers. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
Now Rodgers, gotta have this one. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Jets are going to get the football back. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on down. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he won't get in, but you can't be set up any better than that. They'll have the ball at the 1-yard line.
Well, that sure started out as a good example of what they call backed up or coming out on offense, meaning you're backed up close to your own goal line. Big-time emphasis on practicing that to try and create some room at no less to give the punter a chance to kick the ball away. It means take care of the ball, try and create some space. They were doing that, and the ball comes free.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Warren is into the end zone for a Steeler touchdown. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Boswell for the extra point. And they're able to cut the deficit to 12. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They've got the 2-score lead. Look, though, they fumbled last possession, led to a touchdown. So while things look good here at this stage in the 4th, they got to be careful.
They definitely do, because they've actually brought them back into it, haven't they? They've given them hope once again. Their purpose on this drive, squash that hope one more time.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Now Fields. That is caught. Josh Reynolds. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 34.
And this is seemingly how it's been all game long. This defense has been just a step too slow. And here they're burned again. Another big play.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Running left, it's Hall. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
And this is where coaches sometimes fall into different camps. Your guy just fumbled. It led to a touchdown. Do you stay with him, or do you put him in the doghouse? This is definitely a show of confidence here, as he's right back out there and carrying the ball again.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Here's a quick throw out to Wilson. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's 3rd and 3. Fields. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolved, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now it's Fields. Forced, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
After the made field goal, Zuerlein back out there now to send this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So Aaron Rodgers and his offense down by 15. Just over a minute 40 to play. They need 2 touchdowns and at least 1 2-point conversion mixed in there as well. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know that there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
A big play looming on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Oh, wow, and that could have been the final nail if he's able to hold on to that. That was an ill-advised throw, probably should have been intercepted, but it ended up just being an incomplete pass.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. He's got Pickens complete, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Wilson's got it complete, and they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now it's Rodgers. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
A lot of practice time, a lot of thinking goes into 2-minute drills, even on the defensive side. So now you want to make sure the guys understand. Continue to be aggressive, but make sure you're smart in doing so.
They'll come to the line. This is 3rd and 3. Rodgers to throw once more. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. They'll try and run for it. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Where they were on the field, kind of no man's land. Do you like the call?
I love the call. Almost had to go for it there, right? Because of what you just described. Too far for the field goal. Too short for the punt. You might punt in the end zone and just give them good field position anyway. Let's go for it. Plus, they were moving the ball. They had confidence that they could pick up this last bit of real estate.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. One last shot at the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. Well, this was a fun one today if you like points. A lot of them went on the board. Both offenses were clicking. Charles, these defenses, meanwhile, have a little something to clean up before their next contest.
Yeah, neither end zone had a stop sign in it, did they? I mean, for both sides, visit it, and with frequency. Not fun to be a defensive player, but on the offensive side of the ball, those guys had a blast. One team came away with a victory, even better for them.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Pittsburgh.